So if we can all give the kindest, warmest welcome to Marinina McGowan.
I'm floating on my back. I'm a mile offshore in the open sea. I can feel the warm Turkish sun on my eyelids and on my face. I'm letting the rolling of the waves rock me from side to side. I inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just let go. I can feel the neoprene stretching around my belly as I bring the air all the way down, and my hand is on the line. Official top, +1, 2, 3. Wait, am I ready? I don't know, but I have to go. I roll over and I dive down. And now I'm free falling through the blue water. The lead weight around my neck is dragging me down like a dart. I'm calm. I've surrendered to the increasing speed of the fall. There's a whirring sound. An underwater drone is following me and broadcasting all of this live. The dive alarm on my computer is going off. 35 meters, 40 meters, 43 meters. Get ready. I see the stopper. I dip down and I pull off a Velcro tab and I stick it to my belt. I get ready. I grab the line and whoosh. Touchdown. Coming up. I press play on the soundtrack in my mind that's going to help me guide me to the surface for the ascent. There's electricity running all over me. I'm climbing the water column. All my hairs stand on end. First safety. My arms are stretching up overhead. Second safety. The water is pushing through my toes. Third safety, I'm coming up. The water is sparkling all around me. I'm so close to the surface. But then I'm traveling at high speed through a tunnel of light. But wait, now I'm walking on a beach. I can feel the sand between my toes. I'm holding somebody's hand, but I let go to bend down and pick up a piece of driftwood. Nina, breathe, breathe, just breathe, Nina. And then I'm back. So this was my memory of my world record attempt at the CMAS World Championships in October 2022. I had just set a new world record a few days before, and I was diving again to try and break it by 1 meter during the actual competition. And what had happened was I'd had a small blackout just under the surface, and this happens a little bit in my sport. I remember this local swimming pool as a kid, really noisy places, filled with screaming kids. But I had a special trick. I could make all the noise stop by going underwater. Ha! Quiet. I grew up on this harbour, and it's North County Dublin. And this was my house. I could look out over the sea. I could watch the fishing boats going out and coming back in again, and the tides, and the colour of the water changing. And there was a great peace at resting your eyes far out onto the horizon. My dad was a pioneer scuba diver in the 60s, and in our house he had brought back all kinds of things, ceramic jugs and ship's bells, bits of boats. But I was fascinated by the idea that you could go back in time by going underwater to visit these wrecks. That water stopped time. I was a shy kid, and talking to people was troublesome for me. But I found delight and expression in roller skating. I raced BMXs, moving, animating the spirit, giving it energy. And there's something deeply exhilarating and enlivening in letting the body move. And my favorite was on the dance floor in the early 1990s. The dance floor is a place where the body would unwind and it would begin to find a way to create and to design its own energy. The body has an energetic signature and a frequency that it wants to resonate at. But what I didn't realize up until recently was that I was cultivating an aesthetics of experience. I know now that I was looking to give my energies a voice, to express on the outside how much joy it is to live in a body that bristles with delight all the time. And that you could tune this body to feel those shivers you get from music at will. Our bodies are a living instrument that you can learn how to play. The French philosopher Merleau-Ponty brought us phenomenology. And in 1945, he described the deep entanglement of human consciousness and perception with the real physical world. He wrote that perception is the background of experience which guides every conscious action. We cannot separate ourselves from our perceptions of the world. And so the physical body has become more and more the site of my work and research. When I turned 40, I took stock of my life and I asked myself, what was it that I really valued the most? And the one thing that struck out for me on a very personal and intimate level was just how much I enjoyed music and dancing, and the shivers that you get down your back when a piece of music resonated with me and moved me. Dancing is the purest way to honor the music, and it's a whole body celebration of love for music. And it's a feedback loop, so the more you dance, the more you fall in love. Your body becomes the instrument and the tool that creates and shapes this energy, and it can build a place filled with blissful harmony within you if you let the body lead the way. So I wanted this gift for myself, and I knew how to create it. I just had to cultivate the right conditions and nurture it. So I quit cigarettes, I quit the booze, I quit all refined grains, processed carbs and sugars in particular, to regain control over my neurotransmitters. Do you know that 95% of your serotonin and 50% of your dopamine is created and stored in the gut? The gut bacteria there, they eat sugars and fast carbs, and they act as brokers for, and they regulate these important happy hormones. They can actually dial out from the gut to the brain via the vagus nerve, and they can say, get me a donut, I'll make you feel better. No. So I optimized my diet, I studied silence, I started practicing Bikram, hot yoga, and transcendental meditation. And I used those industrial ear protectors and a sleep mask to reduce sensory input and sit quietly for about 20 minutes every day to completely dial down on external volume. So by taking this radical control over my body, it naturally fed into my art practice. Over the course of researching an art project, I discovered the work of Richard Schusterman, and he's a professor at Florida University. He's developed a philosophy called Soma aesthetics. The word aesthetic, literally from the Greek root pertaining to sensory perception, and soma, from the somatic, which pertains to the body. And this is where freediving came in. This activity is both an art and a sport. It's a method of accelerating and deepening interoception and meditation. And it cultivates perception in a pristine environment, which is uncluttered by the visual paraphernalia and distraction of human culture. There is no coded social behaviors to conform to underwater, and there's no language to punctuate the silence. There's really only you alone. When you go underwater in a calm and a focused way, the dive reflex, or the mammalian dive response, it takes over. Now this is like an ancient piece of software that exists inside us, and it's switched on when we go into water. At depth, the pressure increases the saturation of oxygen in the blood, and interestingly, this boosts the sense of trust and feeling good or feeling at home in your body. So trust in the water and trust in your body. Trust in yourself. Trust that the body knows what it's doing. You look out into the vast blueness surrounding you and you know you're intimately connected and belong here. The division between you, your consciousness, and the infinite blue dissolves. Well, if you can't go underwater, well, if you can't go into space, I should say, going underwater is probably the next best thing. So if I've learned anything, it's that the fundamentals are profoundly important. So I would say, number one, protect your sleep. It's a place where you honor yourself. This is your primary sanctuary. So you must do whatever you can to have deep and long sleeps. Your bed is your tabernacle. Number two, look inside. Look inside yourself. You contain multitudes. We're host to a complete universe that's sculpting us from the very inside out. But it's within our control. Experiment with what you eat and see how it makes you think and feel. This is a very real, quantifiable and growing area of science. And I would urge everyone to resist ingesting big business. You may be donating your very sovereignty. And number three, I would say, stretch your body. Stress hides within us. And if you look for it, your body will show you where it is. It will feel tight, claustrophobic, and resistant, unwilling. But if you coax it and go gentle, you can bring it back into working together with the rest of the body. And stretching creates a flow of energy. And we really do need the whole system to be both receiving and broadcasting. And I would say play. Find ways to allow the body to play and direct itself. And this could be dancing, just walking, listening to music, going into the forest, or onto the beach, taking off your shoes. You know what I'm talking about, but it's most important that you find your own way. By creating emotional connections to our environment, we can bypass the eco-fatigue that the verbal mode of communication, language, has created. People have become deaf to hearing the same words repeated. Physical experiences, using the human body as a receiving instrument, are critical to cultivate, to be sure that we protect and nurture the domain of the human, and all that future potential that we have yet to explore and discover. We need revolutionary change. So I'd invite you, each of you, to find and fall in love with your own essence, with your spark, to cultivate your body as an instrument and to give it what it needs to listen, to dive deep, and to unlock joy. Thank you.